Morning once again to all of you. Today is the seventh day of myself transacting the lesson Structure of Atom, Chapter 2, Class 11 Science Chemistry, 9th of August 2021. Now, in the previous class, I was talking about Hund's rule, Aufbau principle, Pauli's exclusion principle. Okay, so these laws, these rules, I will be discussing once more in detail and teaching you how to write down the electronic configuration today. Okay, now let us look at the next slide. The Hund's rule of maximum multiplicity. Now, this rule, if you look at the rule statement of the rule clearly, okay, it says that while filling of atomic orbitals, while filling of empty atomic orbitals, okay, the electrons occupy the orbital single, and then when all the orbitals of the particular subshell had been completely occupied singly, then only the pairing takes place. For example, if you look at the screen, one example is given where empty 3D orbitals are available. Okay, 3D orbitals are available. There are 5 orbitals. Okay, now we are giving 5 electrons. We are giving 5 electrons. So this 5 electrons will occupy the orbital single, 3D orbital single. After that, if you give again another 5 set of orbital electrons, then now the pairing happens. Okay, so this is the explanation for Hund's rule of maximum multiplicity. Okay. The statements you learned from the next slide. Okay. The statements are given over there for the electron configuration diagrams or electronic configuration. According to Aufbau principle, remember electrons will occupy the lowest energy level orbital that will receive it. That means electrons they always occupy electron orbitals which are possessing lower energy. Then only once the lower energy orbitals are filled up, then only the higher energy orbitals get filled up. Then the next principle is Pauli's exclusion principle, which is important. No two electrons within an atom can have an identical set of all the 4 quantum numbers. Okay, so remember, no two electrons within an atom they can have an identical set of all the 4 quantum numbers, and the 4 quantum numbers, you know, they are principal quantum number, azimuthal quantum number, then there is magnetic quantum number, and then there is spin quantum number. Okay. So these are the 4 quantum numbers. Okay. Then after that we have Hund's rule. Hund's rule, which I stated just now. Hund's rule is also called Hund's rule of maximum multiplicity. Okay. Now, under this rule, electrons will occupy all empty orbitals in a subshell, with single electrons having parallel spin before entering the half-filled orbitals. That means electrons they occupy any available subshell to them, filling the orbital single. And when all the orbitals of the subshell are filled singly, then only the pairing takes place. So that is called Hund's rule. Okay, so this was regarding to the Aufbau principle, the Pauli's exclusion principle, and the Hund's rule of maximum multiplicity. Now let us come to the most important part of this chapter. Now, this is one easier method to remember the order of filling of orbitals as according to Aufbau principle. Okay, now see, all the 1s orbitals are written this way: 1s to 7s. Then after that, 2p to 7p, then 3d to 6d, then 4f to 5f. Now see, it is crossed this way. It is crossed this way. You can have a look. So now it is going this way, entering this way, entering this way. Now I will write down the increasing order of energy of the orbitals. Now have a look very carefully. So this will be the order. So I am writing the orbitals. First I start with 1s, then comes 2s, then comes 2p, then comes 3s, then comes 3p, then then comes 4s, then after 4s comes 3d, 3d, after 3d comes 4p, then 5s, after 5s comes 4d, 4d, after 4d comes 5p, and then comes 6s, after 6s it comes 4f, 4f, then comes 5d, then comes 6p, then comes 7s, then comes 5f, then comes 6d, then comes 7p. So this is the increasing order of energy of the orbitals which you are supposed to remember. Okay, if you can't remember, then in the examination draw this much roughly in the at the side in your rough work, and then arrange and then write the orbitals or the subshells in this correct order. Okay, see, 1s, 2s, 2p, 3s, 3p. Then it should be 3d, but no, it is 4s because the energy of 4s is lesser than the energy of the 3d orbital. Then comes 4p, then 5s, 4d, and so on. Okay, so this is what you must remember, and this is according to Aufbau principle. This is according to Aufbau principle. Now, let us have a look at the other slide. Okay. Now, in this slide, I will explain you the Aufbau principle, introducing you the N plus L rule. N plus L rule. N plus L rule gives us the energy of the particular orbital. Okay. Now, see. Watch very carefully over here. For the 1s orbital, the energy is 1 because for the 1s orbital value of n is 1, value of L is 0. So 1 plus 0 is 1, energy is 1. Then for the 2s orbital, energy is 2 because value of n is 2, value of L is 0. Because for the s orbital, value of L azimuthal is 0. Then for the 2p orbital, energy is 3. Value of n is 2. For the p orbital, value of L becomes 1. So 2 plus 1, 3. So these are the energies, comparative energies for the various orbitals which you can see over here. So based on this, we place them in the energy level, this increasing order of energies, and then we fill them with electrons for given elements, different elements. Okay, so that is how we remember the N plus L rule. Now, to explain this properly, let me insert one slide over here. For example, I am trying to explain you how to apply N plus L rule under what? Under Aufbau principle. Aufbau principle. Now, let us compare the energies of 3D orbital and 4s. Okay. Now, first for 3D, let us calculate the N plus L value. For 3D, N को value is 3. Okay. Principal quantum number, this one. And for D orbital, what is the value of L? SPD. How much? Tell me.
2,
It is how much? 2.
2.
It is coming to 5. Is it coming to 5?
Yes, sir.
Yes, okay. Now, for 4s orbital, let us calculate N plus L rule. Value of N is 4. 4. Plus S. Value for S orbital, what is the value of L? Tell me. It is
0.
0. So how much are we getting? We are getting 4, no? So which value is high? Is it 5
3D.
or 4? 5, yeah, 3D. So the energy of 3D is greater than energy of 4s. That is why while writing the increasing order of energy of orbitals, we write 1s, 2s, 2p, 3s, 3p, then comes 4s, then comes 3d. Look over there. See, this is what I was trying to explain. Okay, that is how we compare the energies of the different orbitals according to above principle using the n plus l rule, which you have seen in the previous slide over here. See, 3D. 3D it's coming after 4S and then is coming 4P. So all these have been calculated by using the N plus L rule under above principle. So is this clear to all of you, my dear boys? Is this clear? N plus L rule. You can compare with anything.
Yes.
You
Yes,
can
sir.
you can compare
Yes,
with any
sir.
other. You can just pick randomly over here. Just compare say 6S. Let us compare uh, 5p 5p and 6s and verify whether it is correct or not. For 5p orbital, value of n plus l becomes n is 5 plus l. For p orbital, what is l? Tell me, what is the value of
One.
1? Very good. So 5 plus 1 is 6. So for the 5p orbital, the value of n plus l is 6. Whereas come to 6s orbital, n plus l, value of n is 6, principal quantum number, plus for s orbital, what is the value of l? Is it 0?
Zero.
It is 0. Now you see 6 plus 0
Zero.
is 6. 6 plus 0 is 6. Correct? Now, are they same? Are they same?
Yes, sir.
Now, whenever such situation arises, when the value of n plus l is same in both the cases, then you must compare what? You must compare the principal quantum number. Are you getting it? Then you compare the principal quantum number. The principal quantum number for 6s orbital, the principal quantum number for 6s orbital is greater than the principal quantum number of 5p orbital. Just check. Just check. Are you satisfied with this answer? So
Yes, sir.
whenever the value of n plus l for two orbital is same, over here it is 6, over here also it is 6. That time, you must check, you must compare the values of principal quantum number. Whichever has higher value of principal quantum number, that will possess higher energy. That is why you can see over here 6s orbital has higher energy than 5p orbital. So I have clearly explained you both the examples. Okay, I will explain and introduce one more slide over here to explain one or two more examples to make your idea clear. Okay, let us compare, for example, 4f and 5d orbital. 4f 4f and 5d orbital. 4f and 5d orbital. Let us compare these two. Now, for 4f orbital, n plus l rule, n plus l value. What is the value of n? 4. For the f orbital, what is the value of l? Tell me.
The three.
3. So, how much am I getting? 7.
7.
Okay, now for the 5d orbital, n plus l. Let us find the n plus l value. So, what is the value of n? It is 5. For the d orbital, what is the value of l?
2.
2. So,
2.
how much am I getting? 7.
7.
Am I getting 7 for both? Am I
Yes,
getting
sir.
7
Yes,
for
sir.
both? Now, since the n plus l value for 4f and 5d orbital is same, now we have to compare the principal quantum number. The principal quantum number for 4f, it is 4, and the principal quantum number for 5d, it is 5. So which one should be higher? Which one should be higher?
5D.
Yes, therefore the energy of 5d is more than 4f. That is why if you look at the order over here, 5d and 4f, over here 5d, 4f and 5d, the energy of 5d is more. Okay, so this is how Hopper had been able to arrange the orbitals in the increasing order of the energy. So am I clear with this or
Yeah.
not? Tell me, boys. Yes.
Yes, sir. So, do we need to remember all the orbitals?
Yeah, I'll tell you. Try to remember at least till here, at least till here. till here, till 5s.
So,
Are you getting it?
yes, sir.
1s, 2s, 2p, 3s, 3p, 4s, 3d, 4p, 5s, at least till here by heart. After that,
Yes, sir.
remaining ones you can work out in this manner. You can work out by writing this in this manner. 1s to 7s you write. The next line you write 2p to 7p, 3d to 60, 4f to 5f, and cancel them. And then you cancel them. Cancel them this way. Are you getting it? Cancel them. Okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
that has been explained over here also. Okay. Now, now moving to the next slide. One more slide is there. Okay. Explaining the same thing, the above principle. It is this above principle. It is used. Main objective. It is used to determine the electronic configuration of an atom or ion. According to this principle, electrons fill low energy orbitals first. So this is how we put the orbitals according to the energy. 1s is low, then 2s, then 2p is there, 2px, 2py, 2pz, then higher than 2p is 3s, then higher than that is 3p, then comes 4s is lower than 3d. So this is how we arrange the orbitals according to the energy. Okay, so whenever you provide electrons, it is 1s will be filled, then 2s, then 2p, then 3s, then 3p, then 4s, then 3d, and so on. Okay, so here they have explained over here nicely. Okay, now have a look at this illustration on the next page. According to above principle, fill orbitals by energy, following the energy. Whatever is low energy, they will get filled. Then up to 2 electrons per orbital. In an orbital, you can put only 2 electrons, not more than that. That also with opposite spin. Okay. Now filling degenerate means having the same energy. When electrons are filled up, they fill up the orbitals single, having the same energy. Then only pairing takes place according to the Hund's rule. Okay, so this slide is just for illustration purpose. Okay, and it will help you remember so many things. Now, this is how you're going to remember the electronic configuration. See, 1s, 2s, 2p, then you come to 3p, then 4s, 3d, 4p, 5s, and so on. Okay, so this, if you can write this diagram in the rough in the examination, in the side column over here, draw this diagram and cancel them this way. Okay, then you can easily write the electronic configuration: 1s, 2s, 2p, 3s, 3p, 4s, then 3d. Okay, then it comes 4p, 5s, and so on. Okay, so this is the order of increasing order of what do you call energy orbitals. Okay, okay. Now this is clear till here. Now, okay. Now some examples of electronic configurations are given on the next slide. If you look at them very carefully, carbon atomic number is 6, so 1s2, 2s2, 2p2. 2 plus 2 is 4. Okay. Now this 1s2 means helium. So instead of 1s2, I can write helium. Helium, then 2s2, 2p2. Which means carbon has how many electrons in its valence shell? It has 4. 4 electrons in its valence shell. I think you all agree with that. Okay. Similarly, nitrogen has
Yes.
7. Atomic number is 7. So its electronic configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p3. 1s2, 2s2, 2p3. Now this 1s2 is helium. Electronic configuration of helium, and then 2s2, 2p3. It has 5 electrons in its valence shell. So I request you all to go through all this electronic configuration till calcium. Okay, till calcium. See, all these are from atomic number 6 to 20. Okay, these are the electronic configuration. This one is helium. Okay, after helium, if you look at till here it is argon. After helium comes neon, then comes argon. See, neon is here. Till here it is neon. Till here it is neon. So don't need to write all this. Just write 3s1, any before that any within square bracket. Then neon, 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 neon. Okay, then neon, neon. Then comes argon, argon. So helium is atomic number 2. Neon is how much atomic number? It is 10.
10.
Argon is 20. Are you getting it? 18, sorry, it is 18. Argon is 18. So this is how you are going to write down the electronic configuration by following very strictly the Aufbau's principle, and also following at the same time Hund's rule of maximum multiplicity. So this you need to practice, okay, quite properly. Okay, now now some more examples you can see on the screen over here, like starting from sulfur. According to class 10 concept, this is the electronic configuration, but according to today's class 11 understanding, the electronic configuration 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p4. Okay. Then there is chlorine, then there is argon, then there is potassium and calcium, then there is scandium, titanium, vanadium, chromium, manganese, iron, cobalt, nickel, copper, zinc. Now, this I want to explain you once more. Okay, scandium, from scandium to zinc. These are the elements belonging to the D block. Okay, now let me introduce a slide over here just to explain this electronic configuration. Scandium, titanium, vanadium, chromium, manganese, iron, cobalt, nickel, copper, and zinc. Now, how to remember? First step, learn these 10 elements symbols by heart. This will help you. It will benefit you. It will never harm you. The learning of this. Okay. Scandium, remember its atomic number is 21. This is 22. This is 23. This is 24, 25, iron 26, cobalt 27, nickel 28, copper 29, zinc is 30. Okay. Now, let me do this one by one. Is it raining over there, my dear boys? In your area?
No, sir.
It is not
It's
yet
raining
raining.
No,
here.
sir.
It is about to rain, I
No,
think.
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay. Now,
No, sir.
first I will write down the electronic configuration of scandium. Scandium atomic number is 21. So 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, then 3p6, then 4s2, 3d1. Now let us check the total. 2 plus 2 is 4, 4 plus 6 is 10, 11, 12 plus 4, 16, 17, 18, 19. Is it complete? Not yet. Just check the total. Oh, this is 3s2, 3p6, sorry. This is 3s2, 3p6. Okay, now check. 2 plus 2 is 4, 4 plus 6 is 10, 11, 12, 12 plus 6, 18, 19, 21. Now it is correct. So this is the electronic configuration of scandium. Now, all of you, I hope you agree why 4s is lower than 3d. According to which rule? Tell me.
N plus 1.
Yes, n plus L. According to n plus
Yes.
L rule, under which principle? Under which
Of
principle?
course.
Aufbau principle.
Of course.
Under Aufbau principle. So here, have a look. From year to year, have a look. 6, 7, 8. 8 plus 6, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So this is helium, neon, argon, no? Argon, no? Argon, then 4s2,
Yes, sir.
then 3d1. Okay. Do you agree? Do you agree? Argon, till here it is argon. Electronic configuration argon. Because it is coming 18. 6 plus 2 is 8. 8 plus 6, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So argon is 18. After that 4s2, 3d1. This is also one way of writing the electronic configuration. Now, this 4s orbital, it contains 2 electrons. And the 3d orbital contains how many electrons? Tell me. 1, 2, 3, 4, and how many electrons 3d orbital? It contains 1 electron. Okay, so this is how we are going to draw the orbitals according to Aufbau principle. 4s containing 2 electrons. Before that, you can write argon, Ar, like this. And then this is 4s, and this one is 3d. 3d the first orbital. Okay. Now this was for scandium. Now let us go to the next example, that is titanium. Titanium, atomic number of titanium is 22. 22. So we'll write down the electronic configuration. 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 2p6, 3s2, then 3p6, 4s2, then 3d2, 3d2. Just check the total. 2 plus 2, 4, 4 plus 6, 10, 11, 12 plus 18, 19, 20, 22. It is coming 22. Okay. Okay. Now, till here, it is argon, no? So I can write down argon and then draw 4s orbital. 4s orbital, 2 electrons. This is 4s orbital. Then after that, there is 3d orbital. 3d orbitals, 5 of them, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. And the 3d orbital has 2 electrons. So you must put the electron single like this, single. So this is the electronic configuration of titanium. Electronic configuration of titanium. Now let us go to the next slide. Let me introduce one more slide over here. One more slide. Scandium, titanium, vanadium now. Vanadium. Vanadium atomic number is how much? 21, 22, 23. It is 23. Okay. Now let me write down the electronic configuration of vanadium. It becomes 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 3s2, 3p6. Then there comes 4s2, then 3d3. Let us check. 2 plus 2, 4, 4 plus 6, 10, 11, 12 plus 18, 19, 20, 23. It is coming 23. Till here it is argon. Argon in square bracket. And after that 4s orbital. I can draw 4s orbital. 2 electrons. This is 4s. And after that 3d orbital. 3d orbital. 3d there are 5 orbitals. 3d subshell has 5 orbitals. 3, 4, 5. So 3d subshell has 5 orbitals. And here there are 3 electrons. So I'll put 3 electrons single like this. Is this clear, my dear boys? Is this clear? I repeat once more.
Yes, sir.
Yes, okay. Are you enjoying the writing of electronic
Yes, sir.
configuration? Okay. After scandium,
Yes,
titanium,
sir.
vanadium, next comes chromium. Next
Yes,
comes
sir.
chromium. Cr. Chromium atomic number will be definitely 24. So let me write down the electronic configuration of chromium also. It becomes 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 4s2, and then this becomes 3d4. This becomes 3d4. Is that clear, my boys? 4s2, 3d4. Let's check the total. 2 plus 2, 4, 4 plus 6, 10, 11, 12 plus 18, 19, 20, 24. Okay, so this one is argon. Till here it is argon. This much is argon. Electronic configuration of argon. After that there is 4s. Now 4s orbital has 2 electrons. Okay, and the 3d orbital has 4 electrons total. 3d subshell has 4 electrons in the 4 orbitals. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So I'll put the 4 orbitals like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now my dear boys, there is a problem over here. This is what I wanted to come today and explain you. There is a problem over here. Because in the 3d subshell of chromium atom, the first 4 orbitals are singly occupied, leaving the last orbital completely empty, which makes this 3d subshell incompletely filled. Now keep in mind, incompletely filled orbitals are what? They are not stable. So here, little bit of manipulation has to be done. Remember, incompletely filled orbitals are not stable. So they must be made stable. How? By making this subshell half filled. How to make half filled? One of the electrons from the 4s orbital, it is transferred to the last empty orbital of the 3d subshell this way. That is the manipulation which has been done in the case of chromium. Where now 4s orbital has 1 electron and the 3d orbitals, all of them, they have 1 electron each. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. get this? So now the
Sir,
yes, yes.
when that 3D orbital has 4 electrons, then we do that
Yeah,
shifting.
yeah, yeah. Whenever the 3D orbital has 4 electrons, the last orbital is empty, no? Making this entire
Yes.
orbital what? Incompletely filled. Remember today, historically important word over here. Any incompletely filled orbital, it is unstable. So to make it stable, it is important for us to transfer the electron from the lower energy orbital, one of the electrons from here to the empty orbital and make it half filled. Half filled orbitals are stable. Are stable. Am I clear? So this is the manipulation. This is the assumption which has to be done in the case of chromium. In the case of chromium, and the other element in which this manipulation has been done is copper. It is copper. Like chromium, there has been a small assumption which has been done in the case of copper. We'll come to it quickly. Let me introduce one. Did you get this much, boys? Did you get this much?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now after scandium, titanium, vanadium, chromium, we have manganese. We have manganese. Manganese. What is the atomic number? Scandium, titanium, vanadium, chromium, manganese. 25. It is 25. So let me write down the electronic configuration of manganese. 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, then 4s2, then 3d5. Look at this. 3d5. Now till here it is argon, electronic configuration of argon. After that there is 4s2, 4s2, it is already completely filled, and 3d5. See, 3d5, 1 2 3 4 and 5, 3d5. The 3d subshell has 5 orbitals. Each of the orbitals, they are having one electron. So this is fine. In this case it is fine because it is already half filled, so we don't have to worry about the stability. Am I clear now? Am I clear? Am I
Yes,
clear
sir.
now? So you have nothing to worry about the stability because this has been made half filled. Okay. Now after manganese comes what? Which element? Scandium, titanium, vanadium, chromium, manganese. After manganese comes iron. Iron, the electronic configuration is 26. So let us write down the electronic configuration of iron also. It becomes 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 4s2, and then 3d6. So this much is argon. Argon. After that there is 4s2, 4s2. This is 4s, and then there is 3d subshell. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This is 3d subshell having 5 orbitals. So we fill it this way. Look very carefully. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6th electron. According to whom? According to Gun's. According to Gun's rule of maximum multiplicity. So first the orbitals of the subshell are filled single, 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 single. When all the orbitals of the subshell are completely singly filled, then only the pairing takes place. So this is how you write down the electronic configuration of iron. Okay, now I will jump I will jump straight away to after iron comes after iron. If you look over there, comes cobalt, nickel, copper, and zinc. Cobalt, nickel, I will not do. I will I will write down the electronic configuration of copper. Okay, now just have a look at the next slide over here. I'll introduce a slide over here that is for copper. If you look at this, copper has an atomic number of 29. Okay, there are 29 electrons. The electronic configuration of copper is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3s2, 3p6, then 4s2, then it is 3d9. See, there are 9 electrons over here, incompletely filled. Now till here it is argon, 18 electrons, and then there is 4s. There is 4s orbital containing 2 electrons, and the 3d subshell containing 9 electrons, 3, 4, and 5. This is 3d subshell, 9 electrons, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now the last orbital which you see, d orbital, it is containing 1 electron only. which is making this what?
Unstable.
Unstable, incompletely filled. It is incompletely filled, which is making it unstable. It is what? Unstable. So that is why what has to be done? A small manipulation has been done where the 4s electron, one of the 4s electron is transferred over here in the 3D orbital, and it has been made like this argon, and then 4s over here, one electron, and then the 3D subshell becomes like this: 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 and 9 and 10. Okay, now the 3D subshell of copper atom has become half filled. It has become not half filled, completely filled. Completely filled. Completely filled. Now completely filled orbitals are stable. So remember, half filled, and completely filled orbitals are more stable, are more stable than incompletely filled orbitals. Incompletely filled orbitals. This is one important sentence to remember for you all. Okay, half filled and completely filled orbitals are more stable than incompletely filled orbitals. This is incompletely filled over here. Incompletely filled. So we are making it completely
So,
filled out. Yes. Tell me.
which means there are only two pieces for incomplete that
Yeah, only two
so
cases.
incomplete
Yeah.
orbital.
Only for copper and chromium. Only copper and chromium. Okay, so this, I think if you learn this by heart properly, copper and chromium, no, these were the cases where the orbitals, the 3D orbitals are. In the case of chromium, it is incompletely filled. Here also it is incompletely filled. But here in this case of chromium, manipulation, after manipulation, it has been made half filled, and here it has been made completely filled. So half filled and completely filled orbitals, they have better stability than incompletely filled orbitals. Okay, rest is easy. See, this is D1 system, this is D2 system, D3 system, D5 system, D5, D6, D7, D8, D10, and here also it is D10. Okay, that is how you remember. Scandium, d orbital 1 electron. Titanium, d orbital 2 electron. Vanadium, d orbital 3 electron. Chromium, d orbital after stability 5 electrons. Manganese, d orbital 5 electron. Iron, d orbital 6 electron. Cobalt, d orbital 7 electron. Nickel, d orbital 8 electron. Copper, d orbital after making it completely filled, d orbital 10 electrons, and zinc has already 10 electrons in its d orbital. Okay, so this is how you're going to practice and write and remember very strictly according to above principle how to write down the electronic configuration of the elements. Okay, now I request my dear students to kindly hang on over there, and from your textbooks, after the textbooks you will find plenty of question answers, short question answers. Fill in the blanks true and false to solve it from the book only. This chapter is complete today. This chapter is complete today. Are you getting it? This chapter is complete today, and in the
Yes,
next
sir.
class from tomorrow I'll be beginning the next chapter, that is periodic properties, the periodic table, okay, the periodic table and the periodic properties. So today's chapter is complete. I would like to end my class here only, but please hang on because I need to record your attendance.
Sir,
Yes,
what is the symbol you are drawing inside that bracket? That
inside
reversible reaction one.
which symbol? Oh, just a minute. Which symbol are you talking about? Bracket.
That inside that
Atom.
orbital boxes.
Inside the orbital boxes, yes, it is like this. Wait, okay. Orbital, no? One is half
Yes.
arrow, another one is half arrow. This way. Reversible one. Reversible you put like this, no?
Yes, sir.
It is horizontal, So this thing I made it vertical. So this is electron clockwise spin, electron anti-clockwise spin. S spin. Are you getting it now?
Yes,
Is that
sir.
clear? Some textbooks will follow like this, okay? Some textbooks will follow like this. See? They will follow this. That is also taken correct. But don't follow this. I request you all to follow what I have taught you just now. Orbital containing electron with opposite spin, this way. Am I clear? Am I clear, my voice?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now let me record the attendance.
sir.
Then
Yes,
you
sir.
join the next class. Okay, don't go away because otherwise you will not benefit from the attendance part. Okay, because I have decided that I will not correct the papers of the boys, those who are not joining the live classes. Okay, just a second. There are 51 boys today. I don't know from where the remaining came. Okay, otherwise they are always missing. Okay, attendance is being downloaded. Okay, now you may leave the class. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.
Only the computer boys leave the class. Bye, boys, stay there.